Good morning, good morning, good morning, Facebook friends. We are in a series, we're in a series called One with God. And it's based on John chapter 17, Jesus' prayer, where he actually prayed, Father, I pray that these who will believe, that's us in the future, these who will believe will be one with you just as you and I are one. So is it possible that we can be one with God? I say if Jesus prayed it, I want to go there. I believe it's possible. I mean, this was Jesus's prayer. So here we are. And so the question is, do you want to be one with God? I think it's a choice. I think it's a matter that we have to just choose and make a choice to be one with the Father. And so today we're going to talk about friend of the bridegroom, and I'm excited about this message. So let's jump right in. John chapter 3. Jesus is baptizing. John has already introduced Jesus as the Messiah, and Jesus is baptizing on the other side of the Jordan, and everybody's going over there, and the disciples are all up in arms about that, and they come to John and they say, John, Jesus is baptizing and everybody's going to him. What are we going to do? And John says this, it's amazing. He says, John 3:29. The one who has the bride is the bridegroom. The friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices greatly at the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, it is this joy of mine is now complete. We must decrease, but I must increase. So John is actually saying, listen, I'm just the best man in this wedding. Jesus is the bridegroom, and he's marrying the bride. That's us. We are the bride. And he's saying, I must decrease. He says, my joy is complete that Jesus is over there baptizing and everybody's going to him. In other words, John is saying, listen, let it all go to Jesus. This is what it was all about. This is what I was here for, is to bring the knowledge of Jesus to the people as a forerunner, to say he's coming, he's coming, he's coming. So I have a question. A wedding, if you're in a wedding's main focus is the bride and the groom. I mean, we're there to listen to and to celebrate the bride and the groom, and they're coming together as one. And the best man is there for the groom, and the maid of honor is there for the bride. But what if the best man and the maid of honor are just these real charismatic people, and they're funny and they make everybody laugh, and so the whole wedding they're just being the center stage. They're just doing this and doing that and da 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 and da 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 da. And so at the end of the wedding, everybody's talking about the best man and the maid of honor. And they're saying, oh, weren't they funny? Weren't they this? Weren't they this? Da 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 da. And they took the whole focus off of the bride and the groom and put it on themselves. You see, that's what happens in the kingdom of heaven. When we enter in and we need people to see what we're doing. We take center stage, whatever work. And I've been guilty of this. I've wondered, why don't people acknowledge what we're doing in the kingdom? Why don't people come and say something? Why don't people, come and pat me on the back or whatever? I've been very guilty of wanting some kind of recognition for what I'm doing in the kingdom of heaven. I've been so guilty of this. But here's what God says, that this is what actually happens when we do this. We take the focus off of the kingdom of heaven and we put it on ourselves. And so then it all becomes about me. It all becomes about who we are. And God is saying, no, the focus needs to be on the bridegroom, Jesus Christ. The focus needs to be on Jesus and not on me. This is why John said, I must decrease so he can increase. And this joy of mine is full. It's been filled because now he's taken over. Now he's doing his thing. Everything that we do in the kingdom of heaven and in our path to being one with God cannot be that we need some kind of recognition. We have to come to God in a method of complete humility. True friendship and faithfulness require a moral value and a pure heart. If you want to be a true friend of God, it's going to require that you have a moral heart and a pure motive for what you're doing. And that motive must be to elevate the kingdom of heaven, to elevate Christ, not to elevate yourself, not to elevate what you're doing. Micah 6:8 says, He has shown you, O mortal, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly before your God. That is what God asks for us, to act justly, to do what's right, and to love mercy, to love forgiving and walking in love with others, and to walk humbly before God. You know, when I think of walking humbly before God, that means that I don't take center stage. I don't need a recognition. The only recognition here is going to be Jesus. It's going to be who He is, the Son of God in my life. And then, if we do that, obedience will follow. See, this whole walk with God is about loyalty. And this is what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about, are you loyal? Are you loyal to Jesus Christ? Is there a loyalty in you that is coupled with faithfulness and a true moral character, that your morality will not let you take center stage? The justice in you will not let you take center stage, because you're there to promote Jesus Christ. If that's you, then that obedience just follows. It's just automatic. You will do what He asks. It's like the bridegroom, the best man. The groom says, "Hey, I need this, I need this." Bam, he's on it. He's on it. He goes to get it. That's how it should be. That's what it was for. And this is why this is all likened to this. And this is, I'm sure, why John spoke this way. Galatians 2:22 through 23 says, "But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And against these things, there's no law." When you have these fruit in your life and you're living these fruit, there's nobody that can say anything. It is who you are. It's in your DNA. It's been engrafted in. This is the path, my friends, to one with God. This is how we walk it out. This is how we get there to one with God. We live this and we put it into our hearts. Loyalty with a deep moral conviction. I am loyal to Christ, and I have a deep moral conviction that I will do what's right. I will do what's best for Him, not what's best for me. This is the root of any true friendship. This loyalty with a deep moral conviction. In any relationship that you have, you can take this relationship to your spouse, you can take it to your friends, you can take it to your siblings, or to whatever. This loyalty, even to your boss, to your job, loyalty with a deep moral conviction is that you are doing something. This friendship is because you have a deep moral conviction that this is what's right. This is the root of any true friendship. And when it's lacking, there is no real relationship. If you're not doing a friendship, or if you're not walking with God or desiring to walk with God out of a true moral conviction that this is right, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and you use justice and fairness and loyalty, if that's not your primary thing in that relationship, the relationship will fail. And so it is with anything. Then it all becomes about me. But to truly become one with God, we must sell out, we must give up, we must give away all the rights to ourselves. And that's not easy. But friends, if we're going to be one with God, we must do this. We must go there. If Jesus prayed that in John 17, He meant it. It's a prayer of Jesus. Father, I pray that they be one with you as I was one with you. The same way Jesus was one with God, He's praying that you and I be one with God. My goodness, friends, this is how we walk out this life on this earth. It says, John said, I must decrease and He must increase. Philippians 4:8 says, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think on these things. So you say, Don, how do I do this? How do I walk this out? This is it. This is the verse. In your life, as you walk about your life, as you walk on it, as you do life, think on things that are pure. Think on things that are true, things that are noble, things that are right, things that are pure. Let your mind be focused on those things. And when the thoughts of the enemy come, or lust or greed or pride or whatever comes, cast it down. Say, no, that's not a thought of God. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to walk there. I'm not going to have that in my life. And then God begins to move in your life, and he begins to see that your loyalty is garnished with a moral character, and you really want this. And friends, I'm telling you that as true as I'm sitting here, as true as I'm talking to you, and as true as Jesus actually prayed that, it can happen in our life. We can be one with the Father just like Jesus was one in the Father. He said, John said, I must decrease and he must increase. Then and only then will you become one with the Father. Let me leave you with this last verse, Colossians 3, 1 and 2. Since then you have been raised with Christ. That means that you died with Christ. We all died with Christ. When we became born again, our old men died with Christ. I have been crucified with Christ. Since then, when you have been raised with Christ, set your hearts on things above, where Christ is, seated at the right hand of God. Set your minds on things above, not on earthly things. This is how we do it, friends. We have to change our mindset. We have to change the way we were thinking. We're thinking about how we walk out life. And so, friends, this is how we walk with God. And if you will put these measures in place in your life, trust me, you will become one with God. Life will change. Things will change. Things will start falling in place in your life. You'll see miracles. You'll see things, God do things for you that you didn't even think were possible. And so let me pray for you. Father, we thank you for our friends on Facebook. And we thank you for this word. We thank you, Jesus, that you prayed this prayer, that we can actually be one with the Father. And so, Father, I just pray for them, for my friends, and for myself and my family, that we can gravitate to this, that we can grasp the knowledge of the truth of this, and we can walk one with you. Friends, if you have any comments, leave them in the comment. I will answer you. If you have any questions, you want to direct message me, we'll talk about that. And if you want to know more about what we're doing down here in sunny southern Mexico, go to our website, www.wingsofeagles, all plural, wingsofeagles.net. Check out what we're doing. But more than anything, let's walk one with God today. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow.